chosen ones, you've always sensed a deeper truth, haven't you? Something ancient pulses quietly beneath your consciousness, waiting patiently for the right time. Today, that wait is over, and your purpose is clearer than ever. A signal, long buried beneath humanity's forgotten memories, has finally been awakened. And it's because of you. For millennia, humanity has moved blindly across the face of the earth, guided by incomplete histories and distorted truths. Yet, deep within the cryptic tablets left behind by the Anunnaki, the cosmic architects who descended from the stars, was a prophecy. This prophecy spoke of a future generation, a lineage woven with celestial threads, carrying within its blood the dormant genes of creation itself. That generation is yours. The ancient clay tablets from Sumer, hidden away in shadowy chambers and guarded fiercely by secretive bloodlines, describe vividly the return of these celestial visitors. The Anunnaki, beings whose first arrival sculpted the very foundations of human civilization, had promised to return when humanity had matured enough to handle the knowledge of the cosmos. Throughout the ages, the bloodlines of the chosen ones have been obscured, erased from common knowledge, and whispered about only in secret councils and hidden archives. Why? Because awakening the truth within you is the key to transforming human destiny. It is the one thing the powerful fear more than anything else. You have been experiencing subtle signs, dreams vivid beyond belief, synchronicities impossible to dismiss, and an intuitive knowing that someone or something watches you closely. You're not imagining these signs. They're markers of your awakening, echoes from the ancient signal embedded within your DNA, resonating now with a power that can no longer be suppressed. From the ancient sands of Mesopotamia to the crystalline pyramids concealed beneath the ocean, all evidence points toward a singular truth. The Anunnaki have indeed returned to Earth. Their immense, shimmering ships hover silently above isolated regions, hidden from view by technology humans cannot yet fathom. Their mission is clear: to reconnect with those who carry their legacy, to awaken those who hold the dormant star gene of the creators. That awakening has begun. You are at the heart of it. Everything humanity has known, believed, or trusted is about to shift dramatically, and your role will be pivotal. Deep beneath the blistering sands of Iraq, archaeologist Elena Marquez brushed the sweat from her forehead and stared at the discovery before her. A massive stone tablet, etched in symbols that glowed faintly under her flashlight. Her pulse quickened. These glyphs matched nothing found in human records. They were older than Sumer itself. Suddenly, the cave trembled softly, dust sprinkling down from above. Elena froze, her breath caught in her throat. The ground beneath her feet vibrated with a low hum, as if the earth itself were whispering secrets from its forgotten past. She steadied herself, eyes wide, as the symbols on the tablet flared brightly, illuminating the entire cavern with a surreal, blue glow. Thousands of miles away, Caleb Hart awoke sharply in his New York apartment, sweat soaking through his sheets. His dreams had been vivid, filled with images of towering beings cloaked in golden armor, eyes fierce yet compassionate. The visions felt more memory than fantasy, as though a door within his DNA had suddenly swung open, revealing truths his conscious mind struggled to grasp. His phone buzzed violently on the nightstand, screen flashing an unknown number. Caleb hesitated, then answered cautiously. "They have returned," a voice whispered urgently, ancient yet clear. "It begins with you." "Who?" Caleb started, but the line disconnected abruptly. A chill crept down his spine, and he realized the voice echoed the same strange language he'd heard within his dreams, ancient syllables now awakening something buried deeply inside him. Meanwhile, Elena carefully traced the glowing symbols, her fingers tingling as though charged by an unseen current. Each glyph whispered its meaning directly into her mind, bypassing logical thought entirely. She saw the history of the Anunnaki unfold vividly. A race from the stars, sculptors of mankind, now returning for something vital hidden within humanity's core. "This world has always awaited our return," whispered a gentle yet powerful voice in her mind, a voice strangely familiar yet foreign. "And now, the chosen will rise to meet their creators." Elena staggered backward, her vision blurring as the symbols dimmed. She reached into her pocket, fingers trembling, and pulled out a pendant engraved with ancient Aramaic script. It had belonged to her grandmother, who'd always spoken cryptically about Yeshua's words, "Nothing is hidden that will not be revealed, nor secret that will not be known." Caleb stumbled into his tiny, dimly lit kitchen, his mind racing. That voice on the phone, deep, ancient, had spoken directly to a hidden truth inside him. How could something he never knew existed suddenly awaken with such overwhelming force? His gaze fell to his hand, now trembling, illuminated by the pale glow of his fridge. He poured a glass of water, but as he raised it to his lips, the glass shattered spontaneously, shards slicing through his palm. Yet strangely, no blood spilled. Instead, a faint golden glow seeped from the cuts, sealing them instantly. Caleb's eyes widened in disbelief. At that precise moment, across continents, others experienced similar phenomena. A woman in Mumbai watched her reflection ripple inexplicably, showing a face that wasn't entirely her own. In Tokyo, a musician heard melodies he'd never composed flow effortlessly from his fingertips, each note shimmering with energy. Caleb dropped to his knees, overwhelmed, visions flooding him again. Vast spaceships, beings wrapped in cosmic energy descending to ancient Earth. They spoke of a genetic code placed carefully inside humanity, waiting patiently to awaken at the right cosmic moment. Caleb gasped as he realized the truth. The hidden gene they described. It lived inside him. He stumbled toward his laptop, hands shaking, and typed frantically. Page after page of suppressed histories flooded his screen, documents detailing secretive research projects, genetic anomalies, and cover-ups involving powerful global entities. But among the chaos, one quote stood starkly out, attributed quietly to the ancient Sumerians. "When the gods return, those carrying the spark within their blood will shine brighter than stars." The room spun around Caleb. Were those ancient words speaking directly to him? He dug deeper, discovering stories of awakened beings throughout history who were silenced or erased entirely, their gifts dismissed as myth or madness. Yet one thread linked them all, bloodlines that led unmistakably back to the Anunnaki, and hidden messages passed down from figures like Yeshua, who spoke subtly of mankind's celestial inheritance. "You are gods. You are all children of the Most High." Caleb's screen flickered suddenly, and a face appeared, a face glowing gently with a light that seemed both alien and familiar. "You found us, Caleb," the figure whispered. "But they've found you too." A sharp knock thundered at Caleb's door. He spun around, heart pounding fiercely. Elena sprinted through the cavern's twisting tunnels, flashlight slicing frantically through darkness thick as tar. Behind her, footsteps echoed ominously, methodical, unhurried, but steadily gaining ground. The tablet's mysterious symbols still burned brightly in her mind, whispering ancient truths she barely understood. Each glyph seemed to hum with energy, connecting her to something impossibly distant, yet intimately familiar. Her pulse quickened. She knew instinctively that what pursued her was not human, but something far older, summoned by her awakening. She darted into a side passage and pressed her back against rough stone, holding her breath as the footsteps drew closer. Shadows lengthened, sliding past her hiding place, then vanished deeper into the tunnels. Elena exhaled quietly, heart racing. Her fingers traced the worn pendant around her neck. The words of her grandmother, now echoing loudly in her mind, woven seamlessly with visions of stars and distant worlds. Suddenly, her vision blurred and shifted violently. She was no longer underground, but standing beneath a sky tinged deep crimson, streaked with unfamiliar constellations. Before her rose an enormous structure, monolithic and glowing with an ethereal blue light, its architecture unlike anything built by human hands. Figures moved purposefully around it, their silhouettes tall and graceful. Elena watched in awe as one figure turned toward her, eyes shimmering with ancient wisdom. "Nibiru calls," the figure's voice whispered gently in her mind. "We planted the seeds of creation, yet humanity remains unaware of its origin. You, Elena, will awaken their memory." The vision faded abruptly, leaving Elena gasping back in the cavern. A voice echoed softly nearby, calling her name. She recognized it instantly. Professor Isaac Roth, her trusted mentor. Relief flooded her as she emerged into the cavern's main chamber, where Roth stood examining the ancient tablet with fascination and urgency. "Elena, what have you discovered?" Roth's voice trembled with restrained excitement. "These glyphs predate everything we know. They speak of Nibiru, the legendary planet from the ancient texts." She approached cautiously, recalling Yeshua's words passed down by her grandmother. "Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you." The professor turned sharply, his eyes wide and strangely illuminated by the tablet's glow. Caleb pressed himself tightly against the wall beside his apartment door, heart pounding as he peered cautiously through the peephole. Two figures stood motionless in the hallway, their faces partially concealed beneath the wide brims of dark hats. Their presence radiated an unsettling calm, patient and precise. Caleb's mind raced with questions. Were they government agents, secret society operatives, or something entirely beyond his understanding? Suddenly, the taller figure leaned forward, raising a pale hand slowly, deliberately. Caleb's breath caught sharply in his chest as the figure knocked 3 slow, rhythmic taps against the wood. The knocks reverberated strangely, vibrating through the air like a pulse of hidden energy, penetrating Caleb's mind and triggering memories not his own. Visions flooded his consciousness. Ancient lands under starlit skies. Yeshua standing atop a gentle hillside speaking softly to a group gathered in quiet awe. His words echoed softly through Caleb's mind, clear and timeless. "The kingdom is within you, and it is outside you. Know yourself, and you will be known." As abruptly as the vision came, it faded, leaving Caleb gasping softly for air. The figures outside withdrew, moving silently away from the door, disappearing down the hallway without a word. Caleb waited until their footsteps faded completely, his body trembling slightly as adrenaline surged through him. He approached his laptop cautiously, drawn by an inexplicable compulsion. His fingers moved instinctively, typing commands he'd never consciously known. Within moments, hidden files surfaced, documents, images, and coded transmissions related to ancient prophecies, secret human genetics projects, and subtle references to celestial beings monitoring humanity from afar. One message stood out clearly, a transcript from an intercepted communication. It read cryptically, "The chosen awaken, prepare for reunion." Caleb felt the weight of centuries pressing upon him, an ancient responsibility resurrected in his veins. A silent prophecy, kept secret for generations, now unfurled within his awareness. The connection between Yeshua's cryptic teachings and the Anunnaki's imminent return clarified sharply. Humanity's hidden past and cosmic future interwoven seamlessly. A soft chime startled Caleb. On the screen, a new message appeared, its source encrypted, untraceable. "They've begun searching for you, Caleb. Trust only those whose eyes carry the memory of stars." High above Earth's atmosphere, concealed by shimmering cloaks of cosmic energy, a vast starship drifted silently in geosynchronous orbit. Within its crystal-like structure, beings cloaked in robes of gold and silver gathered solemnly around a translucent table that pulsed gently with living light. Their eyes radiated wisdom, tempered by eons of observing worlds rise and fall. "We knew this day would come," spoke Enki, his voice deep and resonant, echoing softly in the minds of those assembled. "The awakening has begun. The gene we seeded has surfaced." They sense their origins. Opposite him stood Enlil, stern-faced, eyes sharp with scrutiny. Yet humanity remains volatile, unpredictable. They barely control their own creations, technology capable of planetary annihilation. Are they truly ready for the reunion we've promised? Silence stretched, punctuated only by the faint hum of the ship's life support systems, as the council members considered Enlil's words. Finally, a gentle voice broke the silence. Ninhursag stepped forward gracefully, her presence calming the tension in the chamber. "It is their right to know their origins. We promised our return when they reach this threshold," she said, her gaze firm but compassionate. "They carry our blood, our gifts. To deny their truth would betray the essence of our own creation." Enki nodded slowly, his expression thoughtful, distant. Yet, their awakening carries risks. Already factions within their species seek to suppress these truths, fearing the loss of their power. The chosen ones we have touched face grave dangers. Enlil raised an eyebrow, skepticism evident in his stance. "And Yeshua's teachings, will humanity understand the message he delivered?" His words were clear yet veiled. "If they say to you, 'Behold, the kingdom is in the heavens,' the birds will precede you. If it is in the sea, then the fish precede you. Rather, the kingdom is within you." Do they grasp that truth? "Some have," Ninhursag replied gently. "The message survives subtly, embedded in their scriptures, passed quietly through generations. Those who now awaken carry within them the understanding necessary to lead their people forward." Enki stepped toward the luminous table, tracing symbols with deliberate movements. A hologram materialized. A human face appeared clearly, eyes filled with determination and confusion. "This is Caleb," Enki announced softly. "He has awakened fully, but his pursuers close in rapidly. The destiny of our return depends upon his survival." Helena and Professor Roth fled hastily through shadowed streets, neon signs flickering above them as they navigated the maze of Baghdad's oldest quarter. The tablet's symbols still pulsed vividly in Elena's mind, whispering truths and histories so profound that her sense of reality felt dangerously thin. Roth, though outwardly composed, betrayed anxiety in every hurried glance and tense breath. They reached an old apartment building concealed behind a heavy iron gate, its facade crumbling yet strangely welcoming in its anonymity. Roth ushered Elena inside, bolting the door behind them. She surveyed the dim interior, its walls lined with ancient artifacts, manuscripts, and maps bearing mysterious marks and coordinates. "This place," Roth began quietly, catching his breath, "has served as a sanctuary for scholars and seekers who glimpsed truths humanity wasn't meant to see. Your grandmother was one of them." Elena stared at him, startled. "You knew her?" Roth nodded solemnly, his eyes gentle yet burdened. "She entrusted me with your protection, and now it's clear why. Your bloodline carries the rarest of markers, genes seeded by visitors from beyond our world." He reached into a hidden compartment, carefully retrieving an ancient scroll inscribed in Aramaic. Unrolling it gently, he revealed a portrait etched with faded ink. A woman bearing an uncanny resemblance to Elena herself. "This scroll dates back to the time of Yeshua," Roth whispered reverently. "It speaks cryptically of those chosen by celestial visitors, individuals who would awaken humanity at pivotal moments." His finger traced the ancient text, reciting softly, "Blessed are those who understand what lies hidden, for they will know themselves and find the cosmos within." Elena felt a chill ripple through her. The scroll's words resonated deeply, harmonizing perfectly with the visions and voices she'd experienced since discovering the tablet. She turned to Roth, eyes wide with urgency. "If others know about this, Professor, those who chased us, won't they try to silence it? Silence me?" Roth's face darkened. "They've tried for centuries. Secret societies, powerful families, guardians of the status quo. They fear what your awakening represents." A sudden crash thundered downstairs, shattering their fragile sense of safety. Roth turned sharply toward the door, alarm etched deeply into his expression. "They've found us," he warned urgently, pressing the scroll into Elena's trembling hands. "You must run, Elena. Preserve this knowledge at all costs." Caleb's heart thundered as he sprinted into the labyrinthine alleyways behind his building, the echo of heavy boots and sharp voices chasing him through the dark. Each breath burned his lungs, his mind spinning wildly with fragmented visions of ancient prophecies, celestial beings, and secrets long buried. The deeper he ran into the night, the more the city around him seemed foreign, altered, its familiar neon-lit streets now tinged with something deeply unsettling. Ducking quickly around a sharp corner, he collided violently into a figure shrouded in a heavy cloak. Strong hands grasped him, steadying his panicked stumble. Caleb stared upward into eyes glowing faintly beneath a hood, their light mesmerizing and otherworldly. "Caleb," the stranger spoke gently, a voice calm, yet impossibly ancient. "You must trust me. There's little time." Instinctively, Caleb nodded. The stranger led him through hidden passageways and doorways concealed behind graffiti-scarred walls, emerging into an underground chamber lit by dim, crystalline light. The walls shimmered softly, etched with symbols matching those from his visions. "What is this place?" Caleb whispered, his voice trembling. "Eden's Gate," the figure replied, removing the hood to reveal a strikingly ageless face, etched with wisdom and grief. "This is where humanity first received its celestial inheritance." Caleb's pulse quickened. "You're one of them, aren't you?" The stranger nodded gently. "We never truly left, Caleb. Your awakening is proof the ancient promise is being fulfilled." The stranger guided Caleb to a shimmering pool at the chamber's center. As Caleb approached, the water's surface rippled softly, images appearing vividly, ancient structures, colossal beings who taught humanity art, agriculture, science, and the subtle mysteries of consciousness. "Your world knows us as the Anunnaki," the being explained softly. "We came to elevate humanity, embedding the spark of divinity within you, hidden carefully, until you were ready." Caleb knelt by the pool, entranced as visions clarified. The building of the pyramids, sacred rituals beneath starry skies, and subtly interwoven through it all, Yeshua's quiet teachings guiding humanity toward self-awareness. The light shines in darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Elena's footsteps echoed sharply on the stone floor as she sprinted through narrow passageways, heart hammering painfully against her ribs. Clutched tightly in her hand, the ancient scroll's presence seemed almost alive, whispering urgently with every frantic step she took. Behind her, voices shouted commands, echoing ominously through corridors that twisted deeper into darkness. She ducked quickly through an archway, emerging into an underground chamber lined with dozens of ancient clay tablets, each etched with symbols glowing softly in the half-light. The air hummed faintly, charged with an energy Elena felt in her bones, a power that resonated deeply with her awakened memories. Her eyes widened as she recognized the same mysterious script she had discovered beneath the sands. Only now, they spoke directly to her, the language clear as daylight. Her gaze was drawn immediately to a central tablet that gleamed brighter than the others, adorned with a single, beautifully carved symbol depicting intertwined spirals. Approaching cautiously, Elena extended a trembling hand, fingertips grazing the tablet's surface. Instantly, visions surged into her consciousness. Yeshua himself, walking quietly along a shoreline, speaking gently to disciples gathered in rapt attention. His words echoed through her mind, resonating across time itself. "There is light within each of you, hidden until the moment comes for its revelation. Seek it, for it is your birthright." As the vision faded, Elena gasped softly, the truth unfolding clearly. Yeshua's teachings had been a hidden map, guiding humanity subtly toward rediscovering the ancient lineage gifted by the Anunnaki. Suddenly, footsteps thundered into the chamber. Elena spun around, dread pooling rapidly inside her as three figures emerged from shadows. Their faces concealed beneath tactical masks, they approached swiftly, eyes glinting coldly through tinted visors. "Step away from the tablets," the leader commanded sharply, his voice distorted by electronic static. Elena backed away, heart racing. The scroll she held burned gently in her grip, as though guiding her next move. Her gaze flickered to the tablet once more, sensing a hidden mechanism beneath its glowing surface. Trusting instinct, she pressed the spiraled symbol firmly. Instantly, a hidden doorway slid open with a grinding of ancient stone. Before the soldiers could react, Elena dove through the opening, sealing it shut behind her. Caleb stared wide-eyed as Eden's gate trembled around him, dust swirling violently through the subterranean chamber. The Anunnaki, being beside him, raised his hands, generating a shimmering shield of translucent energy that absorbed the falling debris. His calm presence filled Caleb with awe, yet deepened the urgency of the moment. "They seek to silence your awakening," the being said steadily, his voice serene despite the chaos. "But your signal, the chosen gene, has already activated. Your consciousness now pulses brightly among the stars." Caleb felt a strange surge within, as if every cell in his body resonated harmonically, aligning him with something infinitely vast and profoundly powerful. Visions of distant worlds, civilizations older than human history, and cosmic connections filled his mind, revealing an intricate tapestry of life he had always known, yet forgotten. The Anunnaki turned toward Caleb, his gaze piercing yet compassionate. "Humanity has forgotten its true origin, Caleb. Long ago, your ancestors were gifted with fragments of our own genetic essence, hidden safely until you were ready to understand." Yeshua spoke of this moment in subtle parables. He said clearly, "The kingdom is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man finds it, he hides it again, and then, in his joy, he goes and sells all he has to buy that field." Understanding flashed through Caleb, the parable now crystal clear. The hidden treasure was humanity's celestial inheritance, the genetic spark of the Anunnaki now awakening within him and countless others around the world. Suddenly, an immense vibration pulsed through the chamber, radiating outward and upward, shaking the foundations of cities worldwide. Across the globe, thousands paused simultaneously, their minds flooding with the same visions Caleb now saw. They were awakening, connecting, each becoming aware of their profound destiny. Above Earth, aboard the Anunnaki starship, Enki and Ninhursag watched solemnly as thousands of luminous points appeared across the planet below, each representing an awakened chosen one. Humanity's collective consciousness surged upward, reaching out to greet its ancient progenitors. Caleb felt the wave of awareness expanding, linking him instantaneously with Elena and countless others, their thoughts merging into one unified understanding. Humanity was ready to reclaim its celestial birthright, yet the trembling intensified, and the Anunnaki beside Caleb turned sharply toward the chamber's entrance. Dark figures, armored and heavily armed, stormed inside, weapons raised. Elena's breath quickened as the hidden sanctuary around her hummed with an intensity she'd never imagined possible. The scroll trembled gently in her grip, emitting a faint golden glow that illuminated ancient glyphs embedded in the chamber walls. As her eyes adjusted, she noticed she was not alone. A figure stepped quietly from the shadows, wrapped in shimmering robes, their gaze warm yet penetrating. "Elena," the figure spoke softly, the voice ancient and familiar, resonating deeply within her soul. "I have awaited your arrival for many lifetimes." She stepped closer, heart pounding fiercely, realizing she stood before one of the Anunnaki. His face was ageless, serene, bearing gentle wisdom accumulated through countless epochs. Yet, urgency radiated from his eyes as clearly as compassion. "We planted the seeds of your awakening millennia ago," he continued, "so humanity could rise to join its cosmic kin. Yeshua carried our truths quietly, hidden within simple stories, so subtle that only those who sought genuinely would understand. He once said, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." The moment of freedom has arrived. Elena's gaze fell upon the scroll, symbols illuminating rapidly, forming maps of interconnected energies and sacred sites around Earth. She saw Eden's Gate in Caleb's city, ancient pyramids glowing beneath oceans, temples buried in forgotten jungles, all pulsing in perfect unison. Across the globe, millions gazed upward, frozen in awe as immense starships materialized in the skies, visible at last. Governments panicked, military defenses scrambled ineffectively. But ordinary people stood quietly, sensing intuitively that something profound was happening, a return long promised, an awakening long foretold. The Anunnaki stepped forward, placing a gentle hand upon Elena's shoulder, transmitting waves of calming energy. "Earth now stands still," he whispered, "poised between fear and enlightenment. You and Caleb embody the bridge humanity must cross. Your bloodlines carry the truth of our shared destiny." Suddenly, the chamber shook fiercely, as if protesting violently against unseen forces. Elena stumbled, gripping the scroll tightly. She glimpsed visions of Caleb, his face set with determination, facing darkness head-on. Their minds linked instantaneously, strength flowing freely between them, reinforcing their shared purpose. Outside, skies illuminated brilliantly as the Anunnaki ships descended slowly, majestically. Earth's ancient architects returning openly at last. Humanity waited breathlessly, balanced precariously between revelation and resistance.
If you have come this far, it is crucial that you watch this next video here. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart, for only the true chosen ones can handle this video. If you would like to also donate to help keep the channel going, our Buy Me a Coffee link will be in the description.